Hello, my friends. It's me, Karen Valentine. And we are back. I think this is part 4. I have been out of my studio for the last couple of days, babysitting my grandson. So it feels good to get back in here and keep working on our Red Panda. So just in case you haven't seen any of the first 3 parts, you can go check those out. The reference photo for this image is in the description box below. It is available as a free download from Pixabay. And as I had mentioned before, typically I like to have my reference photo kind of to be able to show you guys what I'm doing in screen, but the size of this piece is so large, and the because everything goes sideways, it's really quite difficult to get it and what I'm doing all on here at the same time. So I apologize for that. I think the best, but that's our reference photo. I think the best way to do this is for you to download the image and put it on a different device other than what you're watching YouTube on. And then that way you can have the picture in front of you in that way and kind of be able to refer back to it if you want to see what I'm doing. So unfortunately, that's the only way that I can think of to really make this work well. So that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, so I've got my Panpastels out. They're the same ones I used before. They're all listed in the description box down below. And again, it always takes me just a little while to kind of get back in the groove of what I'm doing. Because, you know, I forget. I don't know about you. I forget, like, what did I use here and what was I doing? So I am going to start with burnt sienna. And I am going to just use a little lipstick applicator because we're going to kind of work in some small areas to start with, I think. So hopefully this will be an okay color to use as our base color in here. I'm going to kind of try and start to work on, what am I trying to say? I'm going to try and start working on blending these 2 areas together so we can get started there. Now I'm starting to get a little bit worried about this line here. And the reason for that is, the reason for that is that when I did my sketch, you know, I sketched the outer edge of the panda. Sketching that outer edge of the panda, but not really taking into account all of the green that would be showing between the hairs. And if I bring the hairs way out here, then that's completely wrong for the proportion of the picture. So I am going to, before I do anything else, I'm wondering if I can just do it with pencil. I'm going to try and just do it with pencil. And I wanted to add some more of the brighter color down here anyway, so I'm going to use Leaf Green Pale by CARBOTHELLO. And I'm going to bring this green in, because if I don't, when we go to do the hair, the green won't be showing through from behind. And all you'll see is the brown Pastelmat behind it, which we don't want. So I could probably I probably should break out my pans, but I guess I'm being a little bit lazy. Okay, as long as I can blend it out, we'll be okay. So I'm just cleaning off my sponge a little bit because it kind of had some dark color on there. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. Okay, so, sorry, I gotta break out the other ones. Okay, sorry, I know that was noisy. Okay, so I'm going to pull out, I think, the really bright one. I think I'm going to pull out the bright yellow green. Yeah, see what happens when you try and take a shortcut. It's never good. It's always do it the right way. Don't be lazy. And let's see, this actually is darker, so I don't want to use any of that. And I'm trying to figure out what yeah, I can't quite discern why I stopped there and what that line is. So I'm just going to dab into one of my darker colors. Just get that in there. Okay, that's better. Now when I go over it with the fur, we'll be in good shape. Okay, so back to what I was doing before. Let me I want some color in here, but I'm almost thinking that it needs to be grayer. So I'm going to use the raw umber tint. I'm not going to clean off my applicator because I don't mind that it's tinted a little bit darker. I actually kind of like it that way. And I might come on here again with some dark, even darker still. So this is where the white hairs are going to be. And I'm working, I am going to work from here over because the hairs continue to overlay the section before. So if I do this, then when I do the white, it overlays on top. And then when I do the reddish color in here, it overlays on top of that. So that works out the best. So you're not having to go back over again in an area and fix it because it's not laying the way that it's supposed to. Okay, this actually gets quite a bit darker, so I'm going to use maybe a color that I don't have pulled out. No, you know what? I'm going to use that might be too dark. Let's try. So this is raw umber shade, and I'm going to use that in here because this actually is a lot darker than up here. And And I might even just throw a bit in. Always rub in those first layers. You want them down as deep into the tooth as you can get them. Okay, I'm going to switch applicators. And I'm going to use Red Iron Oxide Extra Dark in here. Hopefully that's right. I'm not going to go too far out because I want the hairs out there, but just in here we'll fill this in a little bit. Okay, there's still a lot to come down here, but I think for now, for this video, I'm going to stop right there. And then I'm going to, boy, I hope this is dark enough. What else do I have that could be even darker? Maybe we mix it with some black. I could use pencil. Okay, I'm going to continue with the Red Iron Oxide, but I think I am going to mix it with some black. So in this case, I'm not going to bother mixing it on a piece of paper. I'm just going to kind of tap the two. I'm not going to go up quite as high there because that is a little bit lighter. Cooper says hi. Okay, maybe even just the iron oxide now. We'll go with the burnt sienna shade, and I'm not going to bother cleaning off my my applicator because I don't mind if it's a little bit dark. I almost maybe want it to be darker. I hope it's dark. I don't know. I hope it's dark enough. I think we will start here. I think this is a good base. All right, let me get all these folded up. Folded up, like I'm folding. It's nice, they all just kind of close up together, and then I know that those are the ones that I have been using for this piece. Okay, so I pulled out, I can find my little sample thingy. I pulled out Caput Mortem Red for this hair out here. And I think that that's going to be a good color. So let's just start there. I think you can see I tested it just a little bit right there too. I think I did that last time when I turned off the camera. Okay, so we're going to lay that color in, and I'm twisting my pencil a little bit to try and keep the lines thin and a little bit more random than what I could do without twisting the pencil. I hope I'm a little worried that that's not dark enough. But I don't know what else to use. Caput Mortem Red. Yeah, it looks a lot. Okay, so hang on, let me back up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna pull this sheet out of here. Oh, I don't have both of them. Hang on. Okay. All right, so this is the color that I'm using right now. And when I see it there, it looks too light. But what I don't want is to make it be too purpley, but I'm kind of thinking that the GIOCANDA Caput Mortem Light might be a better color. Maybe we use that as a base and this on top. All right, let's pull it out. Okay, so this is the GIOCANDA Caput Mortem Light. Yeah, I think this is going to be better. Okay, so I messed up. I think we can still, it's definitely darker. It's definitely the color we want to go with. So I might blend that a little bit. And really, these red hairs kind of come all the way out here, so holding it back really far helps to give up some of the control, which in this case I want, because I want the hairs to be a little bit more loosey-goosey. Okay, and then we have just a little bit of orange showing, of a brighter orange. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this pretty much the whole way. Come back and do some more. And I'm not going to go too crazy down here because this hair is going to overlay on top of whatever we do here. So I will save this for when we get down to that end of the page. So we'll just add our haven't quite figured out if it makes a huge difference of which direction I go, either pushing or pulling. I know pushing, when you're trying to make the end of the hair, you know, skinnier and tapered, definitely works better. But I think in this case, where we're just kind of filling in the color, I don't think it'll matter too much. Kind of want that a little softer. I'm not sure if I'll ruin it by doing this or not. I mean, it definitely blends it more, which I suppose could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the look you're after. I think that'll be okay. Let's break out something bright. All right, so I've got these three. Pit is the hardest of all of them, but it is showing up pretty well. I'm gonna go with the Pit because I don't think I want it to be super duper soft. I want a little bit more precision. I think this will be okay. It might even be too dark. I might even have to put a layer of even lighter color on top, which would be okay. As the meeting of the two, I think I might do a teeny little bit more of this Caput Mortem light in here, just and then what did we use for all of this? We used Saffron from DERWENT. I might even do some of this out here, just to pick up a few highlights. Okay, so now I have to decide if I'm dark enough. Dark enough in here. So I'm just going to pull out my black. And I'm really just adding it almost in between some of the hairs, just to darken it a little bit. Give it that extra little bit of depth. I think that's fine. Let's just do a few. This is not dark enough. Let's go with the Caput Mortem Red. Just for a few little skinny hairs there. Okay, so I think I need, what do I need? Let's do the GIOCANDA English Red. It's quite a bit softer than that pit, so it just makes a fuzzier, fuller lay down of color instead of a skinny line. This is beige red. I have no idea why I'm using it. Just because something said to me, use this. Okay, and our white could probably use to be sharpened. Okay, this is where we start with some of the white. I might not bother sharpening it yet since this is going to be layer 1. So I'll sharpen it after I work this in and go over it again. These hairs seem to be pretty straight, so try and make that happen. Again, I'm kind of wondering how far under here I want to go. I guess I'm okay. This does get pretty dark right in here. I might be able to fill that in between the, I might be able to add that, like, you know, just coming in and adding those darker bits like that when that time comes. I think that will be okay. Okay, so there's layer 1. curious. I have this Conte de Paris stick. Yeah, I don't love it. Okay, so let's try the, what is this again? The Cretacolor White. This is a good one for this because A, it's whiter, and B, I don't have to worry about twisting to get twisty lines since I want these hairs to be kind of straight. So this feels like a good one to use. I'm almost feeling though, now that I'm looking at it, before I keep going, I'm going to take my terracotta. Yeah, I'm going to take my terracotta and pull it in a little bit further in just some random places. Yeah, I thought I would really like using the white in this form because I was looking forward to not having to sharpen. But really, I'm not loving it as much. I think it's going to be better for doing, you know, heavy fill-ins of stuff. I'm not really loving it for doing hair. Now, it could be because of the holder that I bought. Maybe I need to get a different holder where it's skinnier and I have a little bit more control, but I am not loving that. So, let's see what other whites I've got. I've got my GIOCANDA white, which might be, oh, it just feels so much better in my hand. Yeah, all right, so I'm going to use my my GIOCANDA white for this. And then we might lastly come in with the wow, I hate it when that happens. Prismacolor New Pastel. Woo, that took a while to get there. Okay, I'm gonna pull. I want that to be a little bit smoother. These kind of go up a little bit. Boy, getting curved lines is so much easier when you twist the pencil. Okay, that doesn't feel too bad. I do think that I'm going to add some white lines through here, white hairs. doesn't feel too bad. I think I'm okay with this. If I were to add my new pastel, I think I would just add it in the center where the hair might be the densest. And then maybe blend it a little bit. I do like blending these new pastels with a similar pencil color because it still stays nice and opaque and bright, but it just softens everything down real nicely. So okay, I think I'm good with that. Let's do this section, and then we will probably have to do the same thing. We'll probably have to work out to in, because I think you can see how each layer overlaps. And if we were to go the other way, we wouldn't be able to do that. So, okay. So now we want, I think I still might use this Caput Mortem Light from GIOCANDA. And let me just take a quick look and see if there's any colors that I want to use as well. Do I have burnt sienna pulled out? That would be 81 or 82. I don't think I do. Let's pull out. Yes. Okay, so this is CARBOTHELLO 670, which is burnt sienna. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of a touch up, sharpen. I'm going to start with the Caput Mortem Light, GIOCANDA. What number is that? 11. Sorry, I'm trying to make this. Of course, I don't know the number. That's my own fault because I covered it up. It's 11 something. It's 11 something. But you guys know what Caput Mortem looks like, so you can probably find it. Try and always pay attention to the direction that the hair is going. That's important. It's easy to get lost in what you're doing and not pay close enough attention, and then all of a sudden you look at it and go, why does that not look right? Well, it's because the strokes are going in the wrong way. I've done that multiple times. Had to fix it. Okay, this is all really, really dark. I'm almost thinking black. And it's all underneath his whiskers, so it's This is going to be interesting to see if I can get the whiskers as white as I want to if I'm putting really, really dark colors underneath. This all is very, 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 very dark. So let's see, this is the tongue, this is the black part of them, this is the white, and then all this in here is really black. I don't think I'm ready to tackle that yet, but I don't want to. Because it kind of all like combines together, like it's, you don't want to, I want it to all blend, so I'm afraid to do part of it and then not do the other part. Okay, that, oh, this is pretty dark. I'm gonna mix this with some black. Not pit. Maybe not black. Maybe we try dark sepia. Dark sepia again. Okay, let's blend that all. Still think that this is going to need to be like gray. I'm going to use the burnt sienna. Maybe back first to the Caput Mortem and get a few more lines in here. Down in here, we're not going to need any of them because it's just dark. So it's really just dark. So I'm not going to go there. Back to the burnt sienna. Maybe a little bit of that in here. Okay, and then something. This is beige red. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not. I want a highlight color, but I don't want white, so I think this will work. It's lighter than everything else. Yeah, it's good. I want to figure out how to make this look a little bit better. Need to do a quick little measurement here, like the this is gonna all come out. So that let me just put that in there right now. Like this is the lightest, fattest part of his, and then the other hairs come out. They all come out here, but that's okay. So I'm debating on letting this blend. That's still not dark enough. I have to use black. I hate to do that, but probably could even go darker, but I'm not. I'm too chicken. Okay, now I don't. The hard part is really getting this blend, I think, to look right. I don't think terracotta. What do I want? This burnt sienna, I think, is better. The pit burnt sienna. This is dark flesh tint in the GIOCANDA, which is number, I can't read it, 6. Nope, it's all just blurred out. I have no idea. I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again, that you guys can go online and search for color charts from like CARBOTHELLO, where they actually give you the actual names of the pencils on the color charts. Why they don't put it on the pencils, I don't know. It's very frustrating. But you can get the color charts and then do what I did by actually like putting the name on there yourself. Okay. I think that that's all right. Something in here with the eye that's not quite right. This is the Caput Mortem Violet Light. I'm just gonna put a little bit of dark and then maybe a little bit of light. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything much more down here. Until I start working that. So how do I feel about all of this? I'm gonna take some dark sepia. Feel okay about that. This doesn't look exactly like it does in the photo. Again, it doesn't have to. That's not what I'm not trying to completely replicate the photo. I'm doing an artistic rendering of the photo. But sometimes there's things that you look at and you go, you know, I wish it had a little bit more whatever. So I'm just gonna try. I don't even know if I can achieve it because those hairs are so teeny tiny and fluffy. You know what? That made an improvement, I think. I don't know why. I don't know what I did, but I think it was just the complete and utter messiness really did make a difference there. So I'm just gonna press it in. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's keep going. I feel like I really want to do the white around his face, but yeah, I really do. All right, let's see how long this took me. I need to turn the camera off and double check and see what that, how we're doing on time. I need to get better about writing down the time every time I shut the camera off. So I'll check and see how long that took, and then we'll figure out how much time we have left to go. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so it looks like we're at about an hour. We may wind up going a little bit longer than the hour and a half that I've been trying to keep these videos at, but I think that that'll be okay. Alrighty, so we need to add some, I'm gonna pull all these. There are a lot of similar colors in my hand right now. Okay, so for over here, I think we'll use, this is the terracotta from Pit. We might start to go a little bit darker. This is the burnt sienna. So I'm going to go over that line just a hair, the leaf line, because I don't want, I want to make sure that the leaf looks like it's in front of the animal. Okay, and then we do have a little bit of the saffron. Actually, I have quite a bit of probably pre-work to do before I start using my pencils, now that I'm thinking about it. This is all the dark. This is all the white. I'm gonna go ahead and use this in here because it's gonna have white over it, but it's still pretty light colored. Okay, I'm debating on using the Panpastels here or just using pencils. No, I'm going to use the pans. Okay, so we've got probably not that. Maybe that, probably not those. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put some red Iron Oxide extra dark in here. And make sure my okay, I just want to keep double checking every once in a while just to make sure. All right, so this is going to be, we'll go dark in here, closest to where the white is. And then burnt sienna shade. That might not be red enough, but we will put pencils over the top. So don't I have red iron oxide just by itself? I feel like our red iron oxide shade. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, so I'm adding this to the mix. That's better. Much better. Let's see what I'm doing here. Okay, and then that's a leaf. And then we get down into the really, really, really dark. I'm gonna use black just to get that in here. So we can go ahead and do our white on top. Just that for now. And what the heck, while I'm at it, we'll just we're going to bring in some dark blues and purples in here. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. All right, that's good enough for now. And then let's see real quick, what do I need? I need some, what did we use here? Oh yes, red Iron Oxide extra dark goes in here. He's starting to come together. This is pretty dark in here too. We might have to add. Okay, what did we use in here? I guess I'm going to use black. I think I did that with pencil, but I'm going to use black Panpastels on this side. I might even. Okay, I need to make sure. Okay, bear with me for a sec while I... Okay, so the white on this side feels a little bit thicker and comes down a little bit lower in the reference photo than the other side, so it's not symmetrical. And the thickness of it at its widest point, that's too thick. So this needs to come out a little further. And yeah, definitely. I like symmetry in some things, but things are not always perfectly symmetrical. So we got to make sure. Sometimes I'll fix the symmetry if it's not pleasing to the eye. If it's asymmetrical, I might make it a little bit more symmetrical. And if it's the other way, then I might make that change too. It just kind of depends on what my eye sees. Okay, I'm gonna leave that think I'm going to leave that, and we're just going to work on this area here and the center of the face. Okay, so let's start with the Caput. Oh, no, it was a different brand. Hang on. Let's start with the Caput Mortem Light in the GIOCANDA. If you don't have those, then just pick something similar in another brand. This is a perfect case of why swatches, nice big swatches, are really handy for when you're working, because, okay, here's something I have to fix. Because if you don't have a particular color in a brand, then just find something similar, because the colors do not have to be exact. Okay, that wasn't nearly dark enough before. Some of this beige red. Might be too light, actually. I mean, sorry, too dark where it's not going to show up. It is. So let's go with English red in the GIOCANDA. I'm really bummed that GIOCANDA doesn't do open stock, because they're one of my favorite brands of pencils. So it's kind of a shame. So what that means is that I will have to do without certain colors when I use them up until I am out of enough colors to justify buying a whole new set. Okay, let's leave this for now and work over the top. Might be able to get away with going straight to the saffron. Go ahead and ignore that leaf, because we're going to just go right over the top of it. Okay, so I think, what did I, yeah, see, forget, just so fast I forget what I did. All right, so we need some of this raw umber tint. I'll put that down first. So I'm just tapping into the pan. Okay, and again, here is a case where I should have brought my color up into this further. Hopefully that'll do it. Okay, and do I want to do a little bit? Yeah, I want to do a little bit of the raw umber shade. Their hair. CARBOTHELLO white. There's some really like crazy random hairs up in here. The ones on this side are curving a lot more than the ones on the other side did. Now you see how the tip of my pencil is kind of tinted orange. We want to avoid that if we can. So just every so often, wipe off the tip. Twisting helps, but you also want to try and keep that as clean as you can, so you're not pulling that orange color into your white. going to be a lot of work that's going to have to happen in here to get that to look right, I think. Okay, so I want to make sure that I don't have too much of that orange. Okay, that's not too bad. Gonna okay, let's break out the GIOCANDA white. I'm gonna press this to try and stop the orange from really getting on that white. It's almost like it's better to do just a couple of strokes and then clean. I want to come further out. I think that's a little better. It's still a little bit more orange on the ends than I would like, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, Prisma New Pastel. And then just use my pencil to boy, I'm tempted to put a little bit more over here. Alrighty. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, this might be a long video. I don't think that's the one I want. Nope. Caput Mortem Light in GIOCANDA. And then the burnt sienna in Pit. Boy, it's so much harder of a pencil. Is that what I was using? Yeah, it was. Okay. It's just, it's got the right color. So I'll make it work. Okay, and beige red. You know what, let's get a little bit more color underneath here first. The Caput Mortem Light in the GIOCANDA. And I want some English red, also GIOCANDA. This is going to have to go much darker. It's really hard to tell. I mean, it's not really hard to tell. What am I trying to say? When you look at this area and it's all underneath all of the whiskers and everything else is around it, it really is quite dark. But it's scary to make it that dark when it's not in context with the rest of what you're doing, and it's just standing there being dark and not weird looking, but okay. I don't want to get into doing this yet. And it just feels like it's not finished because none of this has any detail in it. But none of this does have any detail in it. It's all just dark and fuzzy underneath the whiskers. Yeah, there's so much work right here that has to get done. And then it's really quite symmetrical as far as his fuzziness of his face here, I think. You know, he's got his main poofy front. I'll see, it's actually right here. Right here. And then everything else is a little bit much less, not a little bit, much less bright. So that's where the poofy goes, and then all this is still white. Yeah, I think we're going to not have, I think we're going to stop, which is kind of a bummer. I actually might keep going. I actually might keep going and keep recording, but for a different video. I think that's going to work out the best. Okay, so I think we're going to stop there for this time, and then when I come back again, we will work in here and just kind of keep carrying on. I'm feeling at this point fairly good about it. Quite often after I shut off the camera, and I've stepped away from it for a minute, I can see things that I want to fix. It usually takes me a little bit of staring at it and absorbing it for a little while before I can decide if I want to make any changes. This fur here to me feels a little bit too perfect, a little bit too, you know, each hair showing, and I don't love that. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit softer now, so I like that better. I still think this is too light. I still think it needs to be darker, but we'll see. I might, in between videos, I might do a little bit more mapping out and getting it prepped with measuring and marking in where things go, so that I don't have to waste time doing that on camera for you guys. I'll just tell you. Well, you'll be able to see what I did. So, all right, that is all for this one. Until I see you guys on the next one, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Love ya. Bye.